Arsenal have ended 2022 with a bang, smashing 4 past Brighton. The Gunners mean business. So from a Martin Odegaard masterclass to Mikel Arteta's changed tactics, as well as a transfer hint from Mudryk, things are happening. So as per, let's break it down and discuss the 5 things we learnt from Brighton 2, Arsenal 4. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel in 2023. It is sensational. Happy New Year to all of you guys, and Arsenal have made it a very happy New Year. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the first video of 2023. Smash a like if you do, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy as we try to achieve bigger and better things in 2023. Let's start off with Arsenal's statement starters. This game had so much going into it. Man City drop points, Arsenal go to Brighton, a ground that we've always struggled at. They've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten Man United, but for Arsenal it took us 66 seconds as Bukayo Saka scored Arsenal's earliest Premier League away goal since May 2013. Just over a minute and Arsenal set the tempo. They silenced the away crowd, and with everyone watching they send out a statement, and it's something that Arsenal fans have become accustomed to. This season Arsenal have been super fast starters, the strongest in the Premier League, and even in terms of away form Arsenal have the best record. We are sensational starters, and what that does is it causes fear, and teams will now understand that when Arsenal starts off, if you give them even half a chance, they will kill you off straight away, and this Saka goal epitomised it. And it's a great finish from Bukayo, but can we talk about the part of Thomas Partey breaking up the Brighton counter-attack, stepping in, winning the ball back. Transition control at its finest. It allows Arsenal to win the ball back, sustain the pressure, and once the ball gets into the final third, the ball falls to Bukayo's feet and he is decisive, scoring his 6th goal of the season, and that is now 12 goals and assists in his last 13 Premier League games. 6 goals and 6 assists, finely balanced, and in terms of that, there are only 4 players in Europe that have scored 6+ goals and provided 6+ assists. Lionel Messi, Neymar, Jamal Musiala, and Arsenal's Bukayo Saka. He's racking up the numbers, he's standing out as Arsenal's standout attacker, and that's been the case in the entirety of 2022, with 12 goals and 9 assists, and an overall 21 goal involvements, the most out of any Arsenal player in the entire year. And talking of 21, no player has scored more Premier League goals for Arsenal before the age of 21 than Bukayo Saka. That's the scary part, he's only 21. With his level of maturity on the ball, his physical development and mentality as well, he's not even in the peak of his powers, and under Mikel Arteta, the potential is truly scary. And likewise the rest of the Arsenal attack, because in the absence of Gabriel Jesus, there are so many worried Arsenal fans, but Arsenal remain just as threatening going forwards, and that is because we share the goals. You've got Martinelli with 7 goals, Saka with 6, and Odegaard with 7. 5 assists from Odegaard and 6 from Saka. Over the years, many people have questioned Mikel Arteta's ability to coach an Arsenal attack, but after 16 league games and Arsenal have scored 40 league goals, those questions have been put to one side. Moving on to the second thing, and that is ruthless Gunners. To go to the Amex and to score 4 goals, you have to be ruthless, because Brighton are a top team tactically, a team that is known for winning on XG. Well, not in this game, as Arsenal have done it again, limiting Brighton to 1.22 XG and racking up their own of 3.24. But in terms of the rest of the stats, they aren't the same as normal, and as the field tilt shows, Arsenal did not have sustained levels of pressure, having only 40% of the field tilts to Brighton's 59. And as the rest of the stats show, Brighton had 67% of the ball, made over 600 passes, and had double the final third entries. And even in terms of the Arsenal passing networks, it is not the same symmetrical shape that we've often seen this season. But this is where context is very important. Having scored a goal after 66 seconds, they seemed to give Brighton the ball, and there was not much of an attempt to counter press and to win the ball back. And instead the Arsenal players were picking and choosing their moments. And that's not the way that Mikel Arteta wants to play long term, but I believe with the games that Arsenal have coming up, the game against Newcastle, Spurs away, and United at home, the first team Arsenal squad is very thin, so having taken the early lead, I believe the Arsenal players tried to preserve their energy. Arsenal played in transition and they were effective. And a prime example of that is the third Arsenal goal. Arsenal allow Brighton onto them, they win the ball back, and then they bring the ball into the final third with a perfect spacing of the positional play. Martinelli holds the width, he gets the ball out wide, he takes a shot. Sanchez saves it, but it falls into the feet of Eddie Nketiah. 2 goals in 2 games, right place at the right time, a true poacher's goal. Most fans will see that as a lucky tap-in, but but I see a striker that's always on the move and shows fantastic movement, and his overall performance definitely earned a goal, completing 19 passes, 80% of his passes, winning 3 ground duels. But in terms of putting the ball into the back of the net, I believe that is now 10 goals in his last 16 Arsenal starts. He might not be Gabriel Jesus, but when it comes to putting the ball into the back of the net, Nketiah has the natural goal scorer's instinct. From his goal to Martinelli's, Arsenal were able to kill the game off, and it may not have been dominant, but it was definitely effective. What did you guys make of Mikel Arteta's tactics? Talk to me down below in the comments. Moving on to the third thing, Martin Odegaard is a superstar. I would like to personally give thanks to Real Madrid, because to give us this guy for £30 million, wow, what a bargain. Over the past few years, Arsenal fans have seen signs of Martin Odegaard and what he can be, but in the past 5 games or so, we have seen Martin Odegaard's superstar potential come to life, and this game was another Martin Odegaard masterclass. An 8.5 overall rating, 1 goal and 1 assist, 46 touches, 28 accurate passes, 3 key passes, and created 2 big chances. Overall, Odegaard had the most touches, the most accurate passes, and the most chances created. And in that first half, I have to talk about that lovely little skill pass to Martinelli, which could have easily been a goal. That, my friends, is Martin Odegaard being the entertainer. But on top of that flair, Arsenal fans have always asked for goals and assists from the captain, and he is now delivering, with 12 goals and assists in his last 13 Premier League appearances, scoring 7 and assisting 5. Martin Odegaard is playmaking heritage. He's able to see passes that others simply can't, and the prime example is the assist for the Arsenal 4th goal. Brighton have just made it 3-1, they've got momentum, they are making chances, but Arsenal get the ball to Martin Odegaard, and within one pass, we're in 1-on-1. One of the assists of the season. It gave me flashbacks to Mesut Ozil. It's time to respect Martin Odegaard. He may not be vocal, but he is leading by example, and the best part is he's only 24 years of age. Arsenal's joint top goal scorer, and right now he's up there as one of the standout players in the Premier League. I also believe Granit Xhaka had a very underrated performance. The second half was all about defending, and Xhaka won his duels, 100% on the ground and 100% in the air. He was also very secure with the ball, only losing it 4 times, completing 4 out of 5 long balls and 26 out of 29 passes, in a game which required experience, especially towards the end. This game typified Xhaka so far this season, solid and reliable. Moving on to the 4th thing, and that is shaky Saliba. Now in this game in the first half, Arsenal were able to cut off most of the transitions, and that is because Zinchenko and Partey were very good at winning the ball back in the Brighton half, and that level of transition control of course helped Arsenal score their first goal. But in the second half, things kind of changed. Brighton grew into the game and grew in confidence. Arsenal became a bit more complacent, and Brighton are a very effective team in the final third in terms of rotations. They make very good runs in behind, but after making it 4-1 and seemingly killing the game off, and Mikel Arteta taken off Partey, Zinchenko and Ben White, and without Ben White, Saliba looked a bit exposed. Ben White was doing a very good job in helping out William Saliba. Throwing in Tomiyasu, he looked like he lacked sharpness, and on the right hand side up against his Japanese teammate Matoma, he was getting caused issues and he wasn't able to cope with the movement. And in the case of William Saliba, he made a massive mistake for the Brighton second goal, and it was an overall shaky performance. But as Arsenal fans that have seen a 21-year-old come into the Premier League, be one of the standout players for the first half of the season, return after the World Cup, I'm willing to give Saliba the benefit of doubt that he's not had that many games to warm up. But in these past few games, we have seen a few little mistakes from William Saliba that kind of justify why Arsenal loaned him out last season. He's a fantastic player and the potential is undeniable, and I still think he's going to be amazing. This will only make Saliba stronger going into the future. He will learn from his mistakes and bounce back stronger. Can we just talk about how comfortable Zinchenko is with the ball? He's a left back who feels like a number 10. In terms of technical ability moving into the final third, he made himself a massive chance with a lovely turn, and his level of technical security gives me comfort, and the fact that he started over Kieran Tierney, who's fully fit and available, it goes to show how highly Mikel Arteta rates him, and it's another confirmation that when he's fit and he's available, he is Arsenal's first choice left back. But moving on to the 5th thing, the belief is building. Ending off 2022 in style and starting off 2023, Arsenal fans are excited and they are starting to believe that something special may just be happening. And this was a massive match day, as Frank Lampard's Everton were able to hold Man City as they dropped 2 points at home. With 14 wins, 1 draw and just 1 loss, Arsenal enter the new year 7 points clear of Man City. It is a massive gap to have, but in terms of the Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard says, "I told you before, we don't care much of what others do. We wanted the 3 points and we got it." The Arsenal players are not getting carried away, and likewise the Arsenal manager. As Mikel Arteta says, there is a long way to go, but my excitement comes when I go into the dressing room and I hear the players talking about what they should have done better. This Arsenal team is still very level-headed and they will not get carried away. They will understand that Man City have the experience, they have been there, they have done that, and they are more than able to go on a massive winning streak. But at the same time, the next few games are going to be difficult. They've got Chelsea away, United away, Spurs at home, and Spurs away. Those are some massive away games, and out of their big 6 games, they've only won 1 out of 2 this season. But Man City certainly have the experience to get through those games, so as an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to get too overexcited, but you can't deny that Arsenal have made massive progress. And at the end of 2021, Arsenal will fall 15 points behind leaders Man City. Fast forward to the end of 2022, and Arsenal are top, 7 points clear of City. Dare I whisper, the process is starting to pay off, but that being said, tough tests are to come. Next up, Arsenal have Newcastle at home, then Oxford in the FA Cup away, Spurs away, United at home, Everton away, and Brentford at home. The next 3 league games are going to be decisive. They are going to be gargantuan. Especially Newcastle at home, that game is going to be difficult. These guys are in form, 3rd place in the Premier League. Our first game in 2023 at the Emirates Stadium, it's going to be massive. And with the new year, you also have the opening of the January transfer window. And Arsenal, of course, are trying to sign Mikel Mudryk. And this guy is once again doing his thing on social media and dropping hint after hint that he wants to move to the Emirates Stadium. Posting an Instagram compilation of his 2022 highlights, and he's used a Drake song which has a very specific lyric, "Still gotta see the Gunners win the Premier League." As he's linked to an Arsenal transfer, that's the first hint, but then he goes one step further. And during the Arsenal game, he posted an Instagram story with his ex-manager De Zerbi and Mikel Arteta side by side with a caption of 2 top coaches. I've never quite seen a player that has been this blatant and this desperate to sign for a club. He's making it as clear and as obvious as possible. He wants to move to the Emirates Stadium, and as Arsenal continue their negotiations trying to agree a fee with Shakhtar, the January transfer window is open and I expect some massive developments. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Brighton 2, Arsenal 4. 2022 is over. Thank you so much for your support. I wish you guys a very happy new year. But the January transfer window is open and exciting times are ahead. So I'll see you very soon. Take care and in a bit.